So guys, you know that I consider myself as being pretty ballsy when it comes to going places.
Hello.
Orest.
Yes.
And he's going to take care of me and he's going to show me around Ukraine for the time we'll be together. This is our first time meeting and this guy has traveled. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Orest. I'm originally from Ukraine, from Lviv actually, the city in the west. Now we are in Harkov, in the far east of Ukraine, which is one of the most destroyed large city in Ukraine. And this city now is still being constantly under missiles and rocket attacks, under artillery. So let's hope everybody will be safe, but in order to deliver the truth to you guys, we are able to take this risk.
Orest evident că are și un canal de YouTube, o să vi-l pun în descriere. Ideea este că mie niciodată nu mi-a fost frică în momentul în care am călătorit, în momentul în care m-am dus spre diverse locuri, dar acum, aflându-mă aici, îmi este teamă, sunt foarte mulți oameni ciudați, foarte multă armată, nu știu unde am voie să filmez, nu știu ce am voie să filmez, dar până revenim aici, în mijlocul Harkivului, în mijlocul haosului, vă las în compania câtorva imagini care ilustrează cum am ajuns eu din România aici, în estul Ucrainei. Vizionare plăcută! Bună dimineața! Bună dimineața, bună dimineața! Vă spun din frumosul Chișinău, dragi prieteni. Începem o serie de vloguri cel puțin interesantă. Punctul final al acestei, sau punctul final, următorul punct final al acestei călătorii ar trebui să fie în zona Harkov, orașul cel mai distrus de operațiunea specială începută de domnul Putin. Deci noi trebuie să trecem granița astăzi. În aproximativ 30 de minute am un autocar care mă va duce din Chișinău până în Odessa. Băi, am ajuns în Odessa. Trenul către Harkov este în 5 ore. O să vorbim în tren sau când o să găsesc un loc așa mai private. Caut acum să ne luăm internet și să schimbăm niște bani. Pentru că eu am venit foarte, foarte nepregătit în aventura asta, deoarece nu știam dacă voi putea intra în țară. Cu intratul în țară a fost foarte ușor, am stat mai mult la ieșirea din Moldova decât aici la Palanca, la intrare, cred că undeva la 4-5 minute, ceva de genul ăsta, nici nu m-au întrebat. Aveam actele de COVID, aveam tot ce îmi trebuia, că pe site oficial așa scrie, dar nu m-a întrebat nimeni nimic. Deci suntem în Odessa după un an și ceva, un loc foarte drag mie, în care din păcate nu stăm, pentru că trebuie să ne mișcăm destul de repede. Și acum ajungem la landmark-ul cel mai important din Odessa, și anume Opera. Trebuie să mă duc la gara. Gara se află în partea cealaltă, dar mi să vin până aici, ca măcar asta să vedem din Odessa. Și o să vă zic acum care e toată faza cu acest trip prin Ucraina, pentru că dacă așteptăm până mă sui în tren, vă plictisiți. Așa, deci acum vreo săptămână, ceva de genul ăsta, un foarte bun prieten căruia trebuie să-i mulțumesc, sau dacă pățești ceva nașpa să-l înjur. Deci dacă mi se întâmplă ceva, duceți-vă la Cezar Dumitru, imperator. Este cel mai șmecher, cel mai tare, cel mai vechi blogger de călătorii din România, cel mai titrat, cel mai e forță. Deci într-o zi eram în Santorini și mi-a scris: bă, am un prieten ucrainean, e YouTuber și el, e prin România. Vrei să te duci în zonele interesante din Ucraina, în zonele de război, chiar în partea? Și am zis da. M-a pus în contact cu băiatul respectiv. El într-adevăr a fost în România, tipul Orest îl cheamă. A fost la un podcast la Buhnici, l-am văzut peste tot, am intrat în contact și eu mi-a zis: băi, eu o să fiu în Harkov săptămâna viitoare. Săptămâna viitoare este acum. Eu de la mare am luat un... Stați mă să nu vedeți fața. Eu de la Constanța am venit în București și am zburat la Chișinău azi noapte, am stat o noapte la Chișinău, atât. Astăzi am luat autocarul către Odessa, am ajuns la Odessa, avem astea câteva ore, după care ne îndreptăm către Harkov. Dacă nu știți, Harkov e al doilea sau al treilea cel mai mare oraș din Ucraina și este orașul care a fost cel mai mult distrus de nebunia care s-a întâmplat aici. Iar eu vreau să mergem să vedem exact cum stau lucrurile pe acolo. De ce vreau să mă duc acolo? Din mai multe motive. Motivul principal era de faptul că în urma unui clip pe care l-am pus eu la un moment dat, în care vă explicam câteva chestii despre ruși, americani și așa mai departe, mi-a luat foarte mult hate și mulți oameni au început să-mi zică că, domne, că e campanie de dezinformare, că nu e adevărat, că nu știu ce. Și vreau să mă folosesc de importanța pe care o am aici în mediul online, astfel încât să vă prezint și vouă sau să lupt împotriva propagandei pro-ruse și să vă arăt exact cum stau lucrurile. Și o să vedeți în această serie de 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nu știu câte clipuri o să fac, nu știu când o să stau acolo. Toată lumea s-a panicat când a auzit că mă duc în Harkov. Aici, în Odessa, acum vreo săptămână au început niște atacuri sau au aruncat niște rachete. Dar acolo, în Harkov, că acolo e marea nebunie. Cu băiatul respectiv, cu Orest, mă voi vedea exact când ajung acolo, el mă așteaptă la tren. Are press pass, are o grămadă de autorizații speciale pe care le-a primit de la Ministry of, cum îi zice, Internal Affairs sau ceva de genul ăsta. O să vă las câteva audio-uri pe care mi le-a trimis, astfel încât să vedeți cum s-a derulat discuția dintre noi doi.
Hello. Well, there is nothing in particular. As a foreigner, especially from the friendly country, you're welcome in Ukraine, and it's not like a militarized zone all around. Just act normally. You are a visitor. You are not going to any particular special places closer to the front line, so there should not be any problem. In the worst case scenario, I know if it will not happen, because there is no crime now in Ukraine, since there is like a large military presence. You can always call me, or you can I can give you my license. You can show it to these people, and you tell that I am visiting this journalist, and should be fine. But as I told you, act normally in the places where you will be. It's a decent situation.
Exact acum am ajuns la gară, vedeți aici frumos semnul cu I love Odessa și vis-a-vis este gara, mai am undeva la vreo, cred că 40 de minute, ceva de genul ăsta până pleacă trenul. Nu știu exact la ce cușetă stau, pentru că nu pot să citesc, evident e scris doar în ucraineană, dar ne descurcăm noi cumva. Trebuie să ai grijă cu filmatul, pentru că, uite, e armată și în spatele meu și în față. Trebuie să fii super atent la chestia asta. Asta e marea problemă.
Ia să mă.
În sfârșit putem să filmăm așa puțin. Hai să vedem unde stăm, care e locul nostru. Băi, și stau cu o doamnă, frate. E o tipă drăguțică așa la vreo 40 de ani. Nu știu cât o să pot să filmez acolo în momentul, trebuie să vedem. Așa arată cabina. Ați mai văzut la mine în clipuri atunci când am fost în 2021. Deci știți cum arată.
Ну, да, я уже всех поднял.
Exact în secunda asta am ajuns în Harkov și ne îndreptăm către hotel. Iar ăsta este primul contact, frate, cu orașul. Dacă vă vine să credeți cum arată pe aici. Încerc să am grijă la ce filmez, că sunt chestii pe care n-am voie să le filmez. Da. Uitați-vă și voi.
Hello.
Orest.
Yes.
And he's going to take care of me, and he's going to show me around Ukraine for the time we'll be together. This is our first time meeting, and this guy has traveled. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Oris. I'm originally from Ukraine, from Lviv actually, the city in the west. Now we are in Harkov, in the far east of Ukraine, which is one of the most destroyed large city in Ukraine. And this city now is still being constantly under missiles and rocket attacks, under artillery. So let's hope everybody will be safe, but in order to deliver the truth to you guys, we are able to take this risk. As for me, I visited over 120 countries around the world. I visited many conflict zones, Kashmir, Karabakh, and others, but never thought that the war will come to my own country. Unfortunately, this happened, and you know, what we can do now is simply deliver the truth and help to understand as much as possible people around the world what Ukrainians are really standing for.
So what are you doing now here? What is your purpose being now in eastern part of Ukraine?
Currently here in Sensu Stricto we are doing war reporting, which is one mission. Second mission is we are like actually making a stretch all the way to the eastern Ukraine, which is very close to the front line, that not many journalists, not many even Ukrainians make it that far, in order to understand the local perspective from the ground and to extend the possible humanitarian lines. Because just 1 week ago I was accompanying a humanitarian mission from Croatia together with another friend. We are going to meet him, he's somewhere around. We unloaded a 20-ton truck in a few different orphanages in central Ukraine, and now, like, once the truck is back to the resupplying in Croatia, we made it to the east to understand who is in the real need down here. So basically, Russians invaded Ukraine on February 24th, as you remember, and they started with the massive missile launches all around the country and with massive full-scale land invasion. So basically, Kharkiv seen the Russian forces, Russian tanks at the very first day of February 24th. And then there was some fierce fighting inside the city. They were pushed back, and once they understood that they cannot actually get the city by land, they kind of encircled it and started shelling from all different locations. And the result, destruction we see over here is was just a massive, huge missile strike at like early March, and this was one of the most shocking pictures of the early stage of the war. Орест.
Орест, так. Бачу знайоме обличчя, так.
Clădirea asta pe care o vedeți aici, mamă, deci e super dubios să filmez, frate. Uitați-vă și voi ce pe aici, frate, deci nu mă simt bine să filmez, mă, nu vă dați seama de câte ori am fost opriți de poliție. Bine, vorbesc foarte ok, oamenii foarte politicoși, în ucraineană, e bine că l-am pe el, dacă nu... Deci nu vă puteți da seama cum mă simt. Nu știu cum să vă, nu pot să vă explic. Cum mă simt, nu știu cum o să iasă conținutul ăsta, habar n-am ce o să fie aici, n-am nici cea mai vagă idee. Am plecat de acasă strict cu gândul să postez niște conținut serios și să vă ofer ceva interesant. Orest, one question.
Yes.
What would you say is the number one danger for us being here now?
Number one danger is to be in the wrong location in the wrong time, which means to be hit by the long-range missile. So what's the story now? Kharkiv was under siege for quite some time. Now the Ukrainian military forces pushed back the Russians on a distance which is over 25 kilometers from the place where we are at the moment. This means that the artillery is not reaching this area, and artillery is probably the most destructive because they can make this like huge volume of fire. So what is happening now in Kharkiv is that this city receives almost every day missile attacks coming from the Russian territory, but they usually hit 1, 2, 3 times per day. Some universities, some military object, some industrial object, and so on. So basically, if it comes at particular time and we are there, for us there is no chance. But statistically, this is very like low probable, right, to happen.
Okay.
And this will most probably happen at night when the time we stay in the hotel. So that's the only way.
But about, I don't know, just walking on the street and just people doing something to you, you said that you think it's much safer actually now.
Oh yeah. So in regard to street violence, I would say we don't need to worry,
because the large military presence, you know, they are all looking for spies or other things, and they keep situation under control. So in terms of the street violence, I would say it's absolutely not possible at the moment. Let's hope I am right. And this is kind of contradictory feeling once you find yourself in the middle of this mess.
Exactly.
So every normal person would think that like now somebody will come and rob me, but because of large military presence, this is also a relatively low risk. And it felt not on the roof, but it felt from the side.
Yeah, it had an angle, not on the roof, because the roof looks more or less, well, yeah, you're right. I'm just curious if there were any people inside or if there were any casualties.
Oh yeah, like I'm not sure about this particular building, but it's very natural when something like this happens and there are people inside, there is no chance to survive. So what's happening, right? Like how does the system work? And you'll probably feel this tonight. When our like Ukrainian intelligence radar receive a launch from the Russian territory of the rocket, you know, there is some time to like make the alarm strike for people to tell, okay, once this happening, we have the app, you will feel how it works.
Okay.
It starts ringing.
I downloaded it.
Yeah. It means like you have to go in some shelter or better, like safer place. If like somebody is just stay in their room, continues to sleep, and you know, this what happens, people die. So there is more chance to survive if you go somewhere to the basement, for example. And actually on this building, we see the destructive force of such missile hit. You can just clearly see how the apartments are looking inside, right? You can see doors, you can see some routine they left behind them, you can see chairs, which is surreal, right? It simply stays here and like opening up as an X-ray.
And I have to introduce you. You have to tell me your name again because I forgot it.
Hrvoje.
Hrvoje, he's from Croatia. And what are you doing here? What's your purpose here?
The humanitarian organization that I'm volunteering with is delivering humanitarian aid to Ukraine. Up to now it was like 70 transports to Ukraine, and we ended up this time in the close region, Dnipropetrovsk region. Now we are trying to figure it out, can we help here in this region, Harkov Oblast.
What do you do for a living? You told me you're a professor, no?
Yes, I'm a professor of political science at the University of Zagreb, and basically now when we have a summer time, a summer break, I'm trying to help Ukraine. I'm here to figure it out how to get more humanitarian aid, to learn more what is going on, and to talk with the people here what they really need, because it's very hard to figure it out what they need from Croatia. There are many things that people need, but we don't know, we can't figure it out from there.
This is what I wanted to say, that is like the silence is like...
Silence is... this is the silence you cannot enjoy. Actually,
yes,
yeah?
Exactly.
Because sometimes silence means peace, but for me this silence means death.
Death, exactly.
Yeah.
Pe măsură ce te plimbi pe aici, capeți așa puțină încredere, știi? Pentru că toată lumea se uită ciudat la tine și tu te uiți ciudat la oameni, când treci pe lângă ei, te saluți, pentru că sunt foarte puțini oameni pe stradă și se simte dubios, e un sentiment așa apăsător. Deci dacă nu eram cu Orest, tipul celălalt este aproape ca mine. Bine, stă de ceva mai mult timp în țară, acum de vreo 10 zile au călătorit împreună, dar Orest e bossul. Dacă nu era el, vă rog eu frumos, vă pun contul lui de social media, YouTube, tot ce are. Vedeți că el este foarte cunoscut pe YouTube în Ucraina și a deschis și un canal în engleză și vă rog din suflet să-l urmăriți, pentru că e un băiat de nota 10, s-a ocupat de tot. Dacă nu era el, eu n-aveam cum să ajung aici. Dacă n-ajungeam aici, nu puteam să fac videouri. Uite, găsești chestiile astea, cum le zice, stabilopoze, ăștia sunt aproape la fiecare intersecție. Înseamnă că teoretic pe aici nu prea ai voie să intri sau nu ai voie să intri cu mașina. Nu știu dacă ai voie să filmezi. Eu îl văd pe Orest că filmează și atunci filmez și eu. Am găsit un restaurant și vreau să mănâncă ceva, o să vă arăt puțin să vedeți, e foarte ciudat aici, frate. Sunt câteva restaurante care sunt deschise și mâncarea e bună. Am mâncat mai devreme, dar e foarte ciudat să mergi pe stradă, să fie haosul ăsta și totuși să intri pe la o terasă.
Work properly approximately 2 months ago. Before
So after 2 months of war.
Yeah. So when all the situation gets a little bit more calm and more easier for us, we just start to operate, to help around to people who need. So at the moment, just trying to run the business, help our guys.
Spend your money, leave it with the local people, local businesses. This is the way how you can support directly doing what you're already doing, right? And supporting the economy as well. So stay with Ukraine, come here and support the local places.
One question, are you ever afraid?
Of course. I mean, when plane flying around and dropping the bombs, I mean, I don't know someone who will not feel scared. Because it's pretty scary.
Let's cheers. First of all, I want to thank you for having me here. This is like I'm very, very, very grateful, and I don't know, for Ukraine.
In Ukraine we tell "будьмо," which means let's exist.
Будьмо. What is you show me? What is this? This is a map.
Okay, so
which is live.
Yeah, so this is a map, livemap.com. This is the one where you can track lifetime situations in Ukraine. So basically here you see our vast country next to Romania, by the way. The green are deoccupied territories, which means that Russian forces occupied them for the first month, which is March, and now they're pushed back. Now they're kind of like regaining back life, and it's possible to visit them. Absolutely safe. The main reason to stay on roads, not to go into the fields, because there can be mines. Otherwise, the life is getting back there. You can actually see some videos on my channel from those areas, and please subscribe. I will use 5 minutes of fame.
Yes.
And then the red are territories which are under Russian control at the moment. Yes, so we call them occupied territories. And everywhere along the front line, which spans for over 1,000 kilometers, there is an active combat happening. So basically, if you want to go more in depth, you simply push, and you can see they have also English version. You can see what happens where, and it updated on a daily basis. So you can see how tough is the battle now. It's actually much more serious now when it used to be in the very beginning phase of the war, but since it was like a very hot news, much more people were like focusing on the war in March. However, it's important to stay conscious that the war in Ukraine is still happening, and just to give you the comparison, now, which is 4 months, 5 months after the war, the interaction in the social media decreased 24 times in comparison to the first month. Yes,
24 times.
24 times. But the active combat is only getting stronger and it's getting more dangerous. That's why, guys, just stay aware and see what's happening down here.
And subscribe to his channel to see videos.
Yes.
So we were talking now about the experience from last night. Can you please say it one more time?
Yeah, actually, it was the first experience for me after 30 years, actually, of bombing, of shelling. So apparently there is a weird kind of terrorist folklore to shell at the same time or around the same time every night. So there can be from the local people. Local people say like from 11 p.m. it can be shelling from time to time, but they say like at 4 a.m. it's always the same shelling. So we were
the shelling, it's a bomb.
The bomb. So the rocket is coming. So like basically we were like being aware of that. We couldn't sleep. At least I couldn't sleep well. But my pal in the room, he was not just sleeping, he was snoring. Oh, sorry. And so it was like a huge huge impact, you know, somewhere in the city where it was like boom, and then you know I just, you know, stand from the bed, you know, and I stood from the bed and I took my cell phone as I was saying, like, oh, like look at the people, it's again, it's a shelling and so on. But no, he was like dreaming the dream of the relaxed guy.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have someone so relaxed.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Thank you guys. Hope to see you anytime here. You too. Thank you. Stay safe.
You too.
Thanks guys. I hope you stay in a more quiet area.
Perfect, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Там якась така вишка. So
So these are not bullets.
No. So this look like the rocket landed actually in that building, you see?
On that building there, yeah?
And from there it like went all around, and just a single hit like this can kill a person. So if there are people around,
Oh yeah, look at this.
yeah, here,
This hits you in the head.
yeah, here, and you're done. And
You're
that's it.
done. Yeah, so you might make the mistake to think that these are bullets, but these are not. These are fragments
Yeah, of
from
the explosion.
from the cluster, from the bomb, yeah.
So it looks like there was some explosion even here, not far from our hotel, because you can see that most of the windows are out, just next to our hotel.
Exactly.
Oh shit. Schools, the educational institutions, you know, that actually is educational part. So they
Okay.
kill institutions.
To
which
kill
is
everything.
Another less reason to come back. So it feels like they are depopulating the area.
In order to
They are
repopulate it.
pushing people out to, in the future, populate it with the Russians. That fears is that. Yeah.
Okay.
What's interesting, actually, take a look. Even though it feels like an apocalypse here,
Everything is well taken care of.
See, yeah, that's the most important. The city is trying to function as normal as it can get, with you know, taking care of the basics, like sweeping the floor. It's really clean. Yeah, it's not like messy. The flowers are fresh here, which also gives the feel of life. So, like Kharkiv was actually a well-maintained city before the war, and they try to keep up with that. And also in the hotel where we stay, I'm so impressed how professional the staff is.
Exactly.
It feels like they're acting like there is no war.
There's nothing going on here.
They provide the blankets, they do the breakfast, even though there's shortage of food. They do all the procedures how it should be in a proper place. And that is like impressive. One thing which impressed me the most is that
This is our hotel. Orest, why did you choose this place?
First of all, it's a really nice hotel, and I'm impressed in a good way. But this is what comes after. Before that, I actually booked an accommodation, like a large apartment in the central Kharkiv for all of us, for 4 people. But maybe an hour after my confirmed booking, I received a call from the manager of the company who was dealing with the apartments, and she told, like, you know, Orest, like, sorry, but our apartment is destroyed, as many other apartments in Kharkiv, so we can offer you some alternatives. Unfortunately, they were not okay-ish for our situation, so I simply had to look for another option. But that tells the story what happens to many other Airbnb owners all around, and you know, it's kind of sad as for me.
Asta este hotelul nostru, camera de hotel, și faza e că totul afară, deci este beznă totală. Nu vă puteți da seama, astfel încât să le fie mai greu rușilor să depisteze locurile pe care vor să le atace. E scary as fuck, deci vorbesc serios, este super scary.
Ho. Так. Так, добре.